Why does data pipelines, matter for embedding in Tableau? So this is a very basic layout of what your architecture might look like if you're embedding Tableau into your application so that you can surface analytics to your users. Essentially, you'll have an application, as we see here. The application probably connects to your data backend, whether that's a document store, whether that's a relational database, and then your user will actually interact with your application to perform whatever tasks it is that provides. Now, if you're actually going to embed analytics within Tableau, then Tableau actually sits next to your application. It also talks to your data, and then it then surfaces that data to your user. There is actually a coupling between Tableau and your application, and this is for things like security, authentication, the synchronization of permissions between your application and Tableau. But the information doesn't actually strictly flow through Tableau. Your user is interacting with Tableau at the same time that they're interacting with your application, but they see the two things actually functioning as a whole. It's important to state that what it doesn't do, it doesn't work like this. So this is how some other tools that you might potentially use for embedded analytics could work. So in this case, your application connects directly to your data, and then the embedded analytics product in this case could connect to your application through something like an API endpoint, and then your user would then interact with Tableau at the same time as interacting with your application. Now, there are some solutions that work like this. So if you're embedding a JavaScript charting library perhaps into your application, then it's likely that charting library is going to consume data directly from your application and not consume data directly from your backend data sources. The reason why it's easier to work with Tableau than to work with a setup in this configuration is that Tableau provides lots of functionalities that you otherwise might actually have to embed in your application itself. So things like row-level security, things like filtering, things like calculation and aggregation. If you were just actually applying the charting library on top of your application, then you're likely to actually have to program all that functionality into your app. Whereas actually working with it in this way means that you have to, you get a lot more functionality out of the box, and you don't have to worry about reproducing those